Welcome in this video where we are going to review the awesome paper Rectified Flow. So basically that's a technique that is powering on a stable diffusion tree. It's also used in some 3D. So basically it's used in a lot of generative AI models today. It's really like a building block of modern generative AI. So basically unlike diffusion models that does a transport between a well-behaved distribution, such as a Gaussian distribution and the data distribution. Here we can do we can run a transport between two empirical observed distribution. So what does that mean? That means I can have two data sets. I can have pi 0 and pi 1. So just let's say two data sets of images, and I can learn to go from one to the other. Okay. So basically, as you can as you've probably taught, then it can be used for image-to-image translation. That's really game-changing. You can just have two set of unpaired data sets, and you can learn to go from one to the other. Again, diffusion models requires that one of the distribution is a well-behaved distribution. On here, you don't have this limitation. Here, everything is formulated as a continuously. So basically, there is no discretization, such as in diffusion models. We are going to discuss that in a moment. On what is great with Rectified Flow, they have nice properties, and they learn like straight path, which means that it's easy to simulate. And we can we can have good results with very few simulation steps. Let's say that use Euler sampling. With a single Euler step, you can have good results, and you can also distill the model easily in a one-step model. We're going to discuss that below. If I recall correctly, I think in some 3D they use rectified flows with only 4 steps to make the model fast. Okay, so let's have a look at this image, for example. Here they learn, for example, on the top 2 columns, top 2 rows, sorry, they learn to go from a well-behaved Gaussian distribution towards a data distribution. So here it's really similar to diffusion models. But what you can see that with only 2 steps, or with only maybe 5 or 10 steps, you can have very good results. Okay, sorry, let's go back to it. So basically, with the first, the rectified flow algorithm. So here you can see that maybe to reach to reach the end image, maybe you need 10 steps. So that's already nice, that's decent when compared to diffusion models. But they've an algorithm on top of it that is called the reflow. We're going to discuss it later in this video. But basically that makes the path even, it makes them more straight, and therefore you can simulate images with fewer steps. On here you can see that with only 1 step you can have decent images. It's still a bit noisy, but with more steps you remove the noise. And with only 2 or 5 steps you are very close to your final image. Okay, so that was going from one well-behaved distribution towards the data distribution. As we said, we can also do image-to-image translation. Here, they learn to map a dataset of human faces towards. On one side, they have a dataset of human faces. On the other side, they have a dataset of cat faces, and they can go from one to the other. Okay, so that's really the strength of those approaches. Okay, as we've said, it's an OD that. Where we go from one distribution to the other following a straight line. There is a reflow algorithm to make this line even straighter. We are going to see that it's very easy to, the algorithm is very simple. There is no issues such as with GAN training or with approaches based on DLBO or MLE. As opposed to diffusion models, there is no sensitive hyperparameters. By the way, I've already made a video where we implement this paper in about 100 lines of code in PyTorch. We reproduce this figure from the paper Yeah, so if you're interested, I will put the link in the description, and you will have access to the code. You will see it's very easy. But yeah, before doing that, let's have a look at this at the method, at the algorithm, and you will understand that it's very simple to implement, as opposed to, let's say, diffusion models that are a bit more complex. But again, there is the code, and I will put the link in the description. Okay, so basically here what we have, yeah, we have an ODE. So basically, yeah, we convert from Z0, so basically one data point from the first distribution by 0 to another data point from the other distribution. And basically what we do with Rectified Flow, we predict the drift force, okay, so the, well, x1 minus x0, so the difference between the two data points, the velocity. So basically, on one side we have the ground truth velocity, on the other side we have the velocity predicted by the model, and basically we just train our model so that we minimize this MSE, so this squared error between the ground truth velocity that we have access to during training on the one predicted by the model. On that inference time, that means that if you start from just x0, you can use an algorithm, such as, for example, Euler sampling, to simulate the ODE and to go from x0 to x1. Or you can do the opposite, you can go from x1 to x0 by using the opposite of the drift force. So basically it's easy, you just you just teach a model to predict this drift force between two data points, well, by randomly sampling during training pairs of data points, even though your data set is unpaired, and you learn a mapping between the two distributions. Here in this video, I'm not going deeper into the mathematical explanation. I have a full course on Rectified Flow, where we implement also Stable Diffusion tree from scratch, just in PyTorch, without relying on external libraries. If you're interested, I'll put the link in the description. And I also have a newsletter on Generative AI, so Rectified Flow, diffusion models, autoregressive models. I will put the link in the description in case you want to subscribe, and it's free. Okay, so what is great with rectified flows is that they have a non-crossing property. So basically that means that if we look at this figure, here you can see we have two distributions, so the purple one and the red one, and you can see that the flow learns to go from one to the other in a way that there is that the path do not cross. So you can see that here, yeah, in a way, like you have, you have this line, but then it changes direction. There is no crossing of the path, which is really great. It's a nice property that will, that allows to, that will have an impact on the fact that the paths are straight, and therefore that they can be simulated fastly. Yeah, well, in a fast way. They don't need. If it was a curved trajectory, such as with diffusion models, it requires more steps to sample and to go from one distribution to the other. Here we have a comparison between a rectified flow on VP, I believe it's anyway, but here we have a comparison to another approaches, and you can see that it's curved, and therefore it will require more steps. Okay, so let's go back to it. So that's one first great property. The other one is that rectified flows reduce transport costs. So basically that means that after training, so if you flow, so if you start from Z1, you can generate a pair Z. Well, if you start from Z0, you can generate Z1. So basically pairs of data from the two distributions. And basically they say that Z0, Z1 guarantees to yield no larger transport cost than the data per x0, x1. So basically that's any x0, x1 sampled randomly from the two distributions. So basically, rectified flows to reduce the transport costs. And finally, let's go back to it, sorry. As you might expect, straight lines, flows, yield fast simulation. If the lines are straight, as you've seen on the latest image, if things are straight, it's really easy to simulate. We don't need to do many time steps. Okay, as we've said, there is a reflow procedure. Let's see if we can have a look at it. So basically, what they do, well, maybe you can have a look at the algorithm. So what we do with a dataset, again, of unpaired data points. So what you can do, you can generate a random coupling of the data. So basically, you generate pairs from the dataset. Again, this can be done randomly. There is no need to have any relation between x0 and x1. For example, let's say that you do image-to-image translation. Those images don't need to be to have any relation. They don't need to be geometrically consistent. And then, yeah, once you have this, let's call it pseudo pair dataset now, you can train your flow very easily. Again, you just do the MSE loss between the predicted drift force on the one that you compute from your data. On that's it, okay? And then after training, you can easily use any OD solver to go from one distribution to the other using the predicted drift force. But what you can do then, there is this reflow algorithm. Basically, it's very simple. Basically, you rerun this algorithm one again, but now instead of using a random pairs of data, instead of randomly pairing the data, now you use the flow to generate them. So basically, you start from Z0, you run your ODE solver, you generate Z1, and then you retrain on that, and that's what they call the reflow. And because of all those properties we've discussed, this will make the path more straight. Let's see if we have some examples. I think we have examples below. So here you can see that's what you get after the first rectified flow. Once you run the algorithm once, again you can see that there is no path crossing. So basically, in a way, you kind of learn the fastest way to go from one mode to the other. So basically, here we have two multimodal Gaussian distributions, one in purple, one in red. You can see that there is nothing that prevents the flow. For example, well, we could, for example, learn to map this point to this one. Okay, so this one on this one. But because of the properties of flow, here we have nice mapping. Here, this mode is mapped to this one, the closest one. That's great, but it can be even more straight. And basically, when you run the reflow algorithm, so when you run it once, you see that the path becomes more straight. And if you run it one more time, the reflow algorithm, you have now a very, very straight path. And that means that those are very easy to simulate. You can use very few steps in your OD solver. And basically, that's what we saw here. Here, that's just rectified flow. It needs many steps to simulate because the path may still be curved. But after here, one reflow step, we can see that now things are much more straight, and we can generate nice-looking images in very few Euro steps. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful too. If it was, please leave a thumbs up, comment. It's really helpful for the algorithm. Again, I have a full course on Rectified Flow. I also have a free newsletter. I will put all the link in the description. Thank you.